In this video we're going to talk about what it means to make excuses and whether or not that is something you should be doing. We ask you to consider returning the energy shared in these videos through PayPal or Patreon to unlock flow for yourself and so that we can continue sharing the source truth and guidance. More empowerment and clarity to you. You will see that there is a significant difference between making excuses and having a legit reason not to do something or to do something else instead. And before I go too much in depth on that, I want to remind you that you are experiencing a game of frequency where all of your accomplishments and achievements exist to a degree, and you can be more accomplished and more achieved within those things. And you have to understand that it is you who is responsible for your level of accomplishment within things. And it is you who are going to recognize what is important to you to learn more about, or to master, or to become accomplished within, but also recognize what things in life simply needs to be done and choose to enjoy them. And if you reflect on anything that you have ever accomplished or increased your skill level within, then you might see that you have had less of an accomplishment within that thing also before you got to this newer, higher level. And why did you get to a newer, higher level? It would probably be because that thing mattered to you in a way or another. And you might have heard that you shouldn't settle for less than what you deserve. And what do you deserve? What level of accomplishment are you willing to settle for? Are you willing to settle for less? And the same goes within anything. Your journey as an empowered source player, or your skill within that computer program, or how efficiently you can clean up your kitchen, all sorts of things. And when you understand that there would have to be a level of ignorance present whenever you choose not to raise your frequency or skill level within these things that you either have to do since you're living your life, or the things that matter to you, then you can reflect on whether or not you want to be that type of person. Because that type of person doesn't exist on the highest frequency, where any opportunity to grow is opportunity that you want to get the most out of. A life where you want to be brilliant. So we can probably agree that whenever you have increased your skill within something, raised your frequency, it would be wise to let that frequency sink in. To let that skill be something that you truly understand and are able to manage. But how long are you going to stay on that level of skill? How long before you take it to the next level? Are you making excuses for one reason or another? Do you believe that that is something you can achieve? Do you believe that it is important for you to have a higher level of empowerment and freedom? Do you recognize that it is essential to get to the next level for you to have higher frequency? Do you recognize that it is the essence of the game? to grow. And there doesn't come a time where there is a legitimate reason to stop growing. That would be ignorance. And what is your excuse? You could see now that excuses exist on that place in between growth. Whenever you're done taking in and comprehending and learning to master that level of growth, that level of accomplishment that you now have achieved. After you have reached that place of growth and accomplishment that you now have achieved. So will there ever come a time when it's okay to make excuses? Well, only if you're approaching something that you don't care about. If you're trying to do something in a day that isn't important to you, then you could make excuses. But why would you even try to accomplish something that isn't important to you? And recognize if it's time for you to take it to the next level. And if it is, and you're not doing anything about it, then listen to yourself. You're making excuses. So excuses are simply made when it's time to grow, but you're ignorant about it. When it's time to grow within something that is important and essential. And why would you do that? Who are you? Aren't you someone brilliant? I'm talking about in the utmost truthful sense of who you really are. You are growth and increase. Finding better ways, better solutions. Being able to strategize and be more efficient. Find better solutions. That is who you are. And you can reflect on life up until this point. How many times you have found a better, smarter way to complete a task, for example. Or you have found a truth that is more empowering. Well, don't you want to take it to the next level? And you have the next levels within all different scenarios in life. If it is on that computer program, or in raising your frequency and experiencing more freedom, have you been settling for less? Have you been making excuses? If you can simply stop up a little bit as you're going about doing your task and recognize what you are doing. Recognize if it is something you care about. Recognize if it is true that you could be doing it better. Could you potentially be doing something in an unwise way? Could there be a higher frequency way of doing it? Is that something you care about? And what I'm saying is that there is a frequency to the things you are doing all the time. Every single thing you are doing is being done in one way or another. There is a frequency to it. It is brilliant to a degree, and it could be more brilliant. I'm talking about everything. From the way you wipe the counter and cut your vegetables, to how you raise your frequency and gain more freedom, and everything in between. And you can reflect on any of the things that you are doing throughout the day, and you will see that there is a level of frequency to that thing. You could be doing it smarter, more efficient. And if you recognize that you could have done something better, but you choose not to, well then what is your excuse? Essentially, in that scenario, it is you who have settled for a level of frequency. And by doing so, you can be aware of your level of brilliance within that thing. And it's describing your level of brilliance pretty well. I'm going to say that one more time, just so you understand it better, just so you hear me, just so you can hear it. Excuses are made when you have settled for a frequency, when you, for one reason or another, truly don't think that you could do better. Either you don't want to do better, you don't think that is something that you can achieve, you don't think that it is interesting or important. And then knowing this might make it easier for you to recognize the times you are doing something that you don't really want to do. You can catch yourself as you're making excuses and recognize whether or not you have settled for less. You can figure out if you have been ignorant, or if you're simply trying to commit to something that isn't important to you. Essentially, you're experiencing a life for the sake of growth and having a phenomenal experience. You want to be doing the things that you enjoy, the things that give meaning to your life. And you will recognize that progressing, growing, raising your frequency is the essence of the game. And if you are making excuses for any reason within the things that are the most important to you, and you're choosing to make excuses instead of taking it to the next level, then you're sabotaging your own growth, your own frequency. You're settling for less than what you truly want. If you have benefited from this content, consider returning the energy through PayPal or Patreon. You get out of this whatever you put in. More empowerment and clarity to you. Thank you.